Hello and welcome back to Work in Progress with Nicole Engelmann. I'm joined by Jess Bruno. This is the second part of our conversation. We talk all about content strategy and social media in general. Hi Jess, welcome back.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that. Let's just get straight into it. So, what are metrics that people should actually care about? Because people are probably more concerned about followers and like, oh, I don't get enough likes. But what are the actual metrics that you should look at and care about?
Money in the bank.
Okay.
That's my favorite metric, honestly. So the majority of the clients that come to me in my small businesses, under 10K followers, low engagement, and they are looking for that. They think the answer is to go viral. They think the answer is more reach, more likes, more comments, more story views. And yes, more is more. More is never a bad thing. More isn't going to stop your growth. Yes, it will. Getting more of all the things that are trackable is good. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying it's not a catalyst to your business's success. And in the beginning, in your first 3 years, even your first 5 years, contrary to what the algorithm will tell you and what all the skinny girls on Reels promoting digital downloads will tell you, it's not easy to get high reach overnight, and it's not easy to grow a following on Instagram, and it's not easy to create high engaging content. It's not impossible, but it's not easy. So if we can just accept that and say, okay, it's not easy to get 200 likes on every post, what can we do to counteract the algorithm and to continue to use content as our top of funnel is to, instead of tracking in the beginning your follower count, your like count, your comment count, all of that stuff, instead look at your lead generation, look at the conversations that you're having, look at strategic collaborations you can have. Those are the things that I want you to track instead. I want you to take ownership of your visibility in via your content by having conversations with your clients in, like, not cold messaging them in the DMs, but like genuinely just like nurturing the leads that you already have. I want you to do strategic collaborations and track that, identify where are the places and spaces online and offline you have an abundance of your audience. Plug yourself there, not by like commenting on their comments, but by messaging the founder and be like, hey, I think I can pour into your community. This is something that I'd love to share with your lot. And then align yourself at the top. And then their community, they'll be more likely to follow you and see you as a leader. And then just from your content of it all, that top end, I want you to, instead of tracking the metrics, I hate saying vanity metrics. I think vanity metrics are important, but I instead want you to look at the numbers inside of the business. So the website clicks, the how many people signed up to your newsletter, the sales, and see if you can correlate any of that to your content instead. That's what I want you to track.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, slay.
Big slate.
Yes. So, what is your advice on doing that consistently without burnout, showing up, making sure everything is aligned with what you just said?
Yeah. It's about finding your least path of resistance to content and making content easy to create. So, first of all, rather than sitting down and thinking, oh God, I have to make a carousel because everyone's making carousels, or God, I have to buy a mini mic and talk to camera because everyone's getting a mini mic and talking to camera. I want you to think about what is the easiest and most fun content style you can do and you can do well. Like, my target audience, we grew up on MySpace. Like, you can create content, girl. You know you can. But in the beginning, I want you to rinse and repeat one, maybe two content styles again and again and again, whatever you find is the easiest for you. And look at like some of your favorite creators. Notice that they're doing the same thing. Overwhelming yourself with like hundreds of different content styles isn't going to help you, and you're going to sit down like, oh God, this carousel. If you all you have capacity for is b-roll reels with text overlay and a caption, you do that again and again, and you do that excellently. I'd rather you show up in a way that's easy for you rather than you having to like pull your hair out, because I hate people like, oh, I've just spent 3 hours on Canva making this thing, da 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 da. Sometimes you can. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes you want to be in Canva and you want to do that, and that can pour back into the business. But sometimes you can get the same results from like a low lift piece of content. And part of me is like, why can't all content be low lift for you?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. And the second thing is creating a folder in your phone and on your laptop called, I like to call it the mother. And inside of the mother, you have at at arm's reach all of your headshots, all of your B-roll, all of like little videos that you can use again and again. So you're not having to like spend hours finding footage or spend like hours in your day like recreating the footage. You're most probably sitting on so much stuff that you can just use again and again.
Yeah. I feel the 3 hours in Canva.
Listen, sometimes it's you want to do that, and sometimes you're dead set on creating a carousel to like pin it at the top. It's going to be a special one. It's for a launch.
Yeah.
I think that is necessary and like good for the business sometimes, but not all the time,
Hmm.
not every day.
Yeah. In terms of like strategy, how important is it and where should people start with it? People always talk about you have to have a strategy, but how do you get started with that?
Ask yourself what you need in the business first and create your content from that. I like to say I have a algorithm proof, trend optional content strategy because it's a business first content strategy. At the start of your month, ask yourself, you could do this for like the whole year, but if we're doing it on a month by month setting, ask yourself at the top of the month before you create any content, what do I need in the business this month? Is that I need a one-to-one, I need a high ticket client? Is that I'm launching this thing? Is that I'm good for clients, I just need to keep people warm and put them on a wait list? And then you say, right, okay, if that's my goal for the month, my content needs to reflect that. And then you kind of get a bit more granular with it. Right. Let's say your goal was waitlist. What can I do to get people excited to go on my waitlist? Maybe I should do like an incentive. Maybe I can like, this trend's really fun. Maybe I can show my backstory. Like you always do if you can start with the business first and not the algorithm first, instead of opening up Instagram first, you open up your spreadsheet first. That can really help with the burnout.
In terms of, you hear so many people, I don't even know what I should talk about, what I should post about, how to convey that in visual content.
Yeah.
Where would you suggest get people ideas from, or how to kind of brainstorm those kind of things?
Yeah. So I like to put content into 3 categories. You'll know this:
Hmm.
attract, warm, and convert. So you kind of revolve around these 3 categories based upon what you need in the business. If you're like, I need clients in the business now, and I'm launching, you focus everything on convert. But if you're like kind of in more of like a transition phase, or you want to do a mix of them all, you can do the 3 goals: attract, warm, convert. And to make that a bit clearer, attract is, if you think about a funnel, attract is at the top of your funnel, and the intention for attract content is to get new eyes on the business. So that can be through trends. So that can be through trying to go wide content. That can be through, and my favorite way for it to be through is with strategic collaboration. So collaborating with other people, then you're going to get like aligned eyes on your content as well. So those are the 2 kind of at the top of your funnel: attract. The middle one is warm. This pillar is where you nurture the people that are already opted in, they're already following you. And that is with what I love, one of my favorites, which is founder-led content. So sharing the behind the scenes of the business, building in public, telling them about like a personal win or a mindset shift, all of that stuff people love to see. And then the last one is convert, when you just tell people, this is the offer, this is how you buy it. You share with them the window of time if there is one. So you have to do it by this deadline, and the exclusivity, this is for you if. The question that I get all the time is, well, when and how should I post each one? And how do I know if it's attract? How do I know if it's warm? If you're in a place of business where you're kind of just cruising and you've got all of your clients, keep it simple. Do 1 attract, 1 warm, 1 convert a week, just so you're moving people through the funnel. If you're in a place of business where you're launching something, I would stick with mostly convert. So always make sure you've got this call to action on everything, but kind of through the lens of these like key topics that make sense for the people that are in your audience now, because you're never gonna, not never, it's very rare that you'll convert a new set of eyes that have just found you. Maybe you will if they came through a strategic collaboration. That's got a higher chance of it, but the likelihood of a cold follower converting straight into your funnel is much less than one of your warm audience who you've been nurturing for years that can convert into your offer. So the funnel is attract, warm, convert content, put over the month. And then the other question on, well, what do I make it look like? How do I do the visuals for it?
Yeah.
Least path of resistance. So I love it. If you haven't already, invest in headshots, invest in B-roll, invest in a shoot, work with Nicole, get her to do all of your stuff for you. Use that content and join the dots. Join the dots between the messaging and the stuff that's there. Don't reinvent the wheel every single day when you're making your posts. Just
Yeah.
join the dots with your visuals rather than creating everything, because then when you get into a routine of it, once you have like you've got the templates, I'm not even mad at like a notes app screenshot. I just want you to get the post out there.
Yeah. And can I just say, I didn't pay you to say book Nicole.
No, that was as an unpaid ad.
Straight from the heart.
Straight from the heart.
So in terms of, obviously, we talked about strategy, but what is one thing someone can do today to kind of change the way if they feel a bit uninspired or they haven't got a strategy before and just post whatever they feel?
If you post whatever you feel, one thing you like, I'm not mad at you like posting something, creating something and posting it on the day, but I will save you so much time if you can create these folders. Yeah, if you can go through your camera roll, find lifestyle shots you can use in stories, find good headshots of yourself, find your B-roll, just organize it all. And so you're not having to spend the extra time in creation. Yes, if you're doing trends, sometimes they require a lip sync or something like that if you want to do that. But most of the time, you can just grab something out of like your ready to go folder and post it. But if you haven't done that yet, I would highly recommend. That is kind of like the batching of it all, right? Batching your visuals so then you can put it together. Batching your, if you want to do carousels and beautiful Canva templates, amazing. Choose like, either go onto Canva, choose 3 templates that are already there and just own them, or invest in someone to do like original ones for you. That's fine. But just pick up, really understand like what you're going to do and do it consistently, because really all of that pretty like branding stuff, that's positioning is important, but your audience, as long as they can read it, that's all they need. As long as it's accessible, that's all they need, which is why like I'm not mad at like a notes screenshot, or I'm not mad at like the carousels with it's just one picture with text overlay. Like there are so many ways to do it, right?
Yeah.
But understand your least path of resistance. If that's you just yapping on camera, great. You do that over and over again. Understand what is the quickest, easiest, low lift way for you to make content. Create your folders and do that again and again and again.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, it's a balance as well. I think the most, or the thing that annoys people the most is that it takes up so much time. So
So
if
much
you're
time.
always going for the 3 hours in Canva, of course, that's 9 hours a week if you do 3 posts. And
Yeah,
that's a
but then
lot.
something's got to change.
Yeah.
If you really are steadfast on no, I have to spend 3 hours on Canva for every single post. Okay, then you're gonna have to invest in someone else to do it for you, because you haven't got that time in the business.
Yeah.
So you either have to pay with your time or pay with your money on stuff that takes you ages.
Yeah.
I would suggest to people that spend 3 hours on Canva, like, yes, sometimes it's needed. Sometimes you want to make a really good pinned post. Cool. Do that pinned post, babe. Spend your time there. But like, I want you to have like, what I do is in my calendar every day from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m., apart from today, I
Sorry.
have my content hour. And that's when I can join the dots between my folders and my templates, write the copy, write the email, do whatever I need to do. I put the mask on myself before I put it on any of my clients, and I secure that in the hour. Usually I'm done before the hour. Sometimes it takes a full hour. But if you can put a boundary there and say if it's not done, then it's not getting done today, great. Unless I'm in a launch phase. In a launch phase, I like to batch all of my content for like a week or 2 weeks in advance, because I'm going to be spending a lot of that hour in the morning on discovery calls, on DMs, reaching out to people, having sales chats. So I need to secure that hour for conversation. So I will then invest a weekend of my time to create all of the content for my launch.
You just said something about reaching out to people. So how do you go about that? You know yourself, like, you know, from conversations with me, I absolutely hate the
Hates
cold
it.
DM
Nicole
thing.
hates it.
It feels like cold calls.
It
Have
does.
you been in an accident recently? Kind of thing. So how do you go about it without it feeling icky?
It's called permission based. I never ever cold message someone that I've not had any communication with. The user, the community, they have to give me permission to have a conversation with them. And that permission can look like many other things. So, a big part of my launch strategy is speaking and conversating with your warmest leads in DMs, on email, on voice notes. Like, because of the nature of my offer, and I think for the nature of most service based businesses or like in the coaching industry, my clients want to have a touch point with me before they invest in something. It's just, and I think, Nicole, it might be the same with you. Like, it's a very intimate relationship you have with your clients. Like, they're going to want to know you in some capacity.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what I do before a launch, and I've got a list of people that I've been speaking to over the last like 3 months, over the last like 6 months, who have tapped a button on my story that said, if you're interested in this, tap here, you'll be the first to know, or have expressed interest in working with me one-to-one, or working with me in group, or have been in the content club previously, or have done something with me before. I've got a long list of them, and all of them are going to get a DM from me that says, hey, my new offer, Formula Hun, is opening on this day. I'd love to invite you to join the space. You've told me that you've wanted to work with me before. Is this our time? Can I send you some more information?
Mm,
I never just like word vomit to them. And because it's from a permission based setting where it's not coming in cold, like I'm not going to DM the person that's just followed me
yeah.
that's where, and then you can collect this data. And I do that with stories and waitlists. So on Instagram stories, I'll often use a sticker that's like, tap here if you want to know the tea, tap here and I'll voice note you about this. Da, 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 da. And sometimes with Instagram stories, though, I've done it loads of times. You tap a sticker, then you're like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to tap that because I see you said this. So
Yeah.
I will always send a message like, hey, you tapped this, which signaled me to say this, question mark.
Mm,
They're like, most of them are like, yeah, tell me. And some of them are like, oh, I didn't realize, tell me. And then some are like, no, babe, just like supporting you. So I recognize that happens. And then I always, I have wait lists as well. So like if someone's signed up to my email wait list, I will always DM them as well as send them emails via, because email, even though like it's mass email on a wait list, like I like to have that one-to-one touch point with people. And that does take an investment of time,
yeah. But it pays off
but it
because
pays
people
off.
don't feel like they're just on a list where, everyone gets the same email.
It pays off.
Do you actually use ManyChat then?
Yes.
Yeah.
I use ManyChat. I'm an affiliate. Try and also with my ManyChat, so I have the comment this word and I'll da da da. If it's just like a quick win, like if I'm just sending a freebie, like yesterday I just had like a quick like Canva template that I sent out. I didn't need to have like an elongated ManyChat thing. But if it's for a launch, I'll have the automated message, hey, you said this. And I'll tell people it's Robot Jess, and real Jess will come back in the DMs if they have any questions. And
Mm,
I'll also send a link, and I'll have a message that triggers, hey, did that link work okay? Just to check people have like clicked the link and it has worked for them. And then human Jess, me, will always come in and continue the conversation, because ManyChat can also feel a bit cold,
mm. I
unless
think
like for a launch, you know?
Yeah, I think it's great if it's a freebie. Comment this and you get a free whatever.
Yeah,
Then, usually that's just taking time off of what other things you could do. But it's definitely good when it's just like sending out stuff. And then you can always come back because this is a warm lead. So if they
it's
are
a warm
interested in
lead.
this kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, ManyChat is great.
Yeah.
I like to do As I said, Nicole knows there's 3 doorways, 3 different paths of calls to action for per launch. So I like to do one that's like comment this word and I'll send you the link. Another one is DM me this word and we can talk about it in the DMs. And the third one is like click the link, buy it straight away,
Yeah.
basically. So you give people different options. So you're not having to say the same call to action again and again and again.
Yeah. Because some people don't want to talk. They just like, give me the
No,
stuff.
they're ready to go. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Brilliant. I'm just thinking, is there like a even a small or big shift in a strategy that you've seen for your clients made a big change?
Genuinely, it's not being scared to sell through the silence and not being scared to shout into the void.
Mm.
Because once you can get over yourself a little bit and like press post and be okay with the fact that it will get low engagement. And once you can do that consistently, you will see the results start like stacking up and going. Once you can stop deleting your flop content and letting it live there and knowing that you get better and better with every post, that's when growth happens. When you can start not being scared of being salesy because you're going to scare people, when you can start not being scared of losing followers, when you can start posting and not refresh your analytics over and over again, that's when you'll see a big change in the business. And sometimes that is a scary concept for them, like for my clients. Like when the questions I don't like is why is this not got high engagement? Like if someone says that to me, I'm like, that's not kind of the questions I want here. I want to be talking about your launch strategy. I want to be talking about how your funnel works. I want to be talking about the leads that you're nurturing. I want to be talking about your strategic collaborations. I don't want you coming into my space and consistently over and over again asking me about your reach, because that reach will only get better the more you post, the more you understand your tone of voice, the more you nail your messaging. And that can't happen if you keep living in this space of fear against the algorithm, fear against low engagement, because you're never going to keep posting.
Yeah, I think that's the thing as well. Sometimes the low engagement stuff or the things that don't get a lot of likes, you never know who sees it
You never know.
because there's a lot of lurkers out there, and a lot of people that maybe they find your content or your page and then they look through stuff and they see this
Yeah.
and it resonates. But if
Yeah.
you don't post because you think, oh, this is low engagement or I haven't done that well with my content, then you're not showing up and no one knows you're there.
Yeah. You got to think of content as if you're a user. Like, how many times are you sat there scrolling compared to sat there actively engaging? Like, I scroll past so much content and consume it without tapping my phone. I will read a whole carousel without double tapping or writing a comment. Doesn't mean it's not been consumed.
Yeah, or it doesn't resonate.
Or it doesn't resonate. Exactly. Exactly.
The amount of times I'm liking dog and cat videos and recipes more than actually the business content.
I know.
I wonder why my algorithm is fucked up.
It's so hard to like,
Yeah,
and the Instagram algorithm changes all the time. This is
yeah,
another thing as well. Like, it changes all the time. You can't control any of that. All you can do is control how you're showing up. That's
yeah.
it.
And I find it's hard to keep track of it because was it last week or the week before when the kind of tiny header reel came
Yeah, the
about? It's like,
letterbox.
how do you know this? Like, and I just see you or other people posting about it. It's like, but how do you find this out? How do you know this is a trend now?
I know. It's just sleuths,
Yeah,
Instagram sleuths. But like, I mean, that letterbox thing did really well for me because it stands out, but that's not the only way to stand out.
yeah. It's just one tool of many.
I see square posts on Instagram go viral all the time. I
Hmm.
see like tweets go viral all the time. Like I see wrong content get high reach all the time because not because it's the prettiest, not because it's the most on trend, but because the messaging is so good.
Yeah, definitely. This is really helpful and enlightening. I mean, and a lot of the stuff I already knew because I'm part of,
Yeah,
you
she
know,
knows.
the cult.
She knows.
But I think it's also good to reiterate the things that you already know because sometimes you just forget. And it's like, yes, I needed to hear this.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
In terms of your own work in progress, what is something you're actually working on at the moment? And now you can spill the tea.
Well, if you listen to our previous episode, I have burnt down all of my offers basically. So I burnt down my membership, the Content Club, my beloved membership, the Content Club, from me and the members. My group program I've run it 6 times and then I closed the doors on it. And I am coming to the end of contracts with my one-to-ones as well, because I'm putting out, I'm not going to be hosting 3 offers anymore. I'm going to be hosting 1 offer. I mean, at least for the next 2 years. It's called Formula Hun, and it's not a membership, it's not a mastermind, it's not an accelerator, it's a group container for high accountability to get your content out of the Notes app and into the world, and a big kick up the arse from me. It's going to have my core kind of content, my core how to use my formula to create everything I said today. So how to create attract content, how to create warm content, how to create convert content. It will have kind of like the core pillars of my method, and it will be in many different formats. So they'll only 20 minutes long, these trainings as well. So 20-minute long trainings. There'll be the audio version, so like a podcast you can listen to again and again and again. There'll be the visual version, and there'll be a text version as well. And all of these trainings are not made to like one and done. They're made for you to tap back in if you need a refresher. Like we're doing learning about your why, planning, content planning, all that stuff will be pre-recorded there for you, not just one time, but for you to listen to again and again, because sometimes you always need the reminders. So that's kind of like the core training of it all. And then outside of that, we have live group sessions. They'll be in person and online as well. So every Tuesday, I'm still doing it on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday from 10 a.m. till 12 p.m. will be our pit stop calls, where we'll have at the start of the month, very popular thing that I did in my membership I'm bringing over, which is a guided content planning session where I'll be there to help you and we'll just plan out your 4 weeks together. And then the 2 calls after that are group coaching calls with themes. So we'll be talking specifically about your attract content strategy, specifically about another part of the content strategy. But those 2 calls will be themed. And then the last week of the month will be implementation week. So there's no live calls. It's meant for you to get shit done. So you do whatever you need to do. On top of that, there is a group chat where there's going to be no yap. We're not talking about anything else apart from content strategy. You get to ask a question about the core curriculum and you get to hand over your content strategy for me to give reviews and feedback. And that's it. That's what we talk about. Everyone will have access to my content tracking sheets. They're beautiful. I'm really excited about them. And my content planning sheets as well. And you can send anything in whenever you need for review.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah, it's so good.
Can I just say, I love how on brand you are? Because for people that are watching, if you show the nails.
Yeah, I've got,
They're
and
like,
next month they're like my race car nails.
yes, and it's Formula Hun, so it's all tied in
Formula Hun.
very, very neatly.
So it'll be Formula Hun or Formula Hun to Hun if you want to have an hour one-to-one strategy call with me
Yeah.
on top.
Can I actually, on a side note, ask, because I think in the beginning it was meant to be something else. It was called Slay in Your Lane, right? So how did that
Yeah,
change come about?
I know. It was called Slay in Your Lane, and I was so excited. I had this like whole slay formula. Before you post the content, you'll check if it slays. But after doing some research, there is an amazing book by 2 founders called Slay in Your Lane. And I was like, I don't want to take their bag. And I like looked at the book and I was like, this is amazing. So then Formula Hun was the original name. I went to Stay in Your Lane and then I came back to Formula Hun because then I can be like, hey Huns, Formula Hun to Hun. Like it stayed there. A lot of it is like the core concept of the program is staying in your lane, comparing yourself to yourself, look at your own analytics before you look at someone else's, all of that, because I do believe growth comes from you like looking at your own content and seeing what performed well and doubling down on that rather than like reaching in the algorithm to find something that someone else is doing. But I loved Slay in Your Lane. I was so like 10/10 there, but after some research I was like, that's an amazing book by 2 women of color founders and I want them to keep that and I
Yeah,
will just have Formula Hun.
that's great. And I love the idea of measuring yourself to yourself rather than to
Yes.
others.
Yeah, you're in your own race.
Yes.
And you can
Again,
always
going
be
back.
first in your own race. You will
Yeah,
always win in your own race.
I love that. Always going back to Formula One.
Yes.
Brilliant. I think that's it. I'll share all the links in the show notes as well, so people can find you, find the Formula Hun page and everything. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so
Amazing.
much, Jess. It was,
Thank you
as
for
always,
having me.
really lovely to talk to you.
I love to be here.
Thanks for making the time as well. You know, blocking out the content. I mean, it's still content creation. It's just one piece rather than.
There we go. There we
Yeah,
go.
exactly. Brilliant. Thanks so much. And I'll talk to you soon. And thanks to everyone else who's listening in.